All right, so after 2 to 3 days of drying, the soil is almost tight. Okay, so you can see it's almost tight. The water content is almost removed. Okay, so we'll have to now knead it properly, mix it properly, like on its own. Make small dough, and then try to see what we can do. I have got needle. Okay, a little thick needle. As you can see, the eye is quite big enough and it's thick. I've got another incense stick. Okay, the remains of the incense stick and a matchstick. Okay, and I've got a small knife so that I can cut out, and with this I can make holes. Okay, so that I can pass through strings and all. So these are some of the things that I'll be needing for further development. So let us see. Take out a little bit of it. Okay, and try to knead this properly so that it becomes a proper dough. It doesn't have much of water content, as you can see, right? It's almost dry, but you need to mix it properly. Okay, so you should properly mix this so that there is no separation in between, and like the air is removed. Okay, the air within them must be removed, so you should have to mix them properly, uniformly, so that it's quite sticky, right? So this is one part I need to do it, right? And then there is the second part, right? So in the second part, as you can see now, it has also become very smooth. It's very fine and very smooth, and this still requires, I think, drying. Okay, this still requires some drying, but you can see it's not lifting up, right? So it requires drying, I think, now. Okay, after so many days of I cannot make small beads, that's it, because if it doesn't dry I cannot make beads. So and I cannot roll it, then it won't be useful. So I think I require, from the top portion I can see that's very dried up, but from the inside you can see it still requires some more drying. So maybe I'll have to catch up once again some other day. Okay, so I'll give it for one more day to dry. Okay, so just leave it back. So in the meantime I'll be working on this, right? So this is because it was totally filtered out of water. That's why maybe the water content is too much, and I need to really be careful about using it. So let this be, because I am unable to use it now, right? As you can see, it still needs drying. It was drying under sun, but still I think it requires to form a little more tightness. So never mind, I'll be using this. Okay, so I need to knead this, all of it, and then try to find out how I can use this for making certain beads, and then creating certain craft. Okay, so let me use it, right? Use all the 5 fingers properly, and if possible use your hand also. Use your hand also. So don't think that you shouldn't use to try to dirt your hand. Right, so use this, right? So let me see if I can make small holes, beads, very tiny ones, as tiny as possible. So this is like a very small tiny bead. You can see that I'm trying to form bead here, right? And that's how the beads can be formed, very tiny ones, right? And then once you have made all the tiny beads as much as possible, and then you have to clean your hand. You should clean your hand before using the tools, because the tools are otherwise going to get very dirty. Okay, so take the tools. Okay, I need to put a small hole inside through it, right? So pass the needle all through it, so that the back portion, the eye, also passes through. So this is quite good, and then this has to be left drying. Okay, so I have to have a container. On the container I'll collect all those things. Okay, so maybe I'll take this container, and in this container I'll have to make this bead, right? So to have uniform size, have uniform size, you can do something. You can roll it also. You can roll it for some length, right? So you have to roll it, and then have to chop off the rolls in equal sizes, so that all the beads that you want to make becomes similar in size. Okay, if not exact, but at least similar in size. So you cut off, like, equal pieces like this. So you can see they are equal sizes here, and so each one of it you can make small beads. So they will be all same, almost. Okay, almost same. So like this you can control the size, and you can use it for making small beads that you can insert the pin, this needle through it. So you can insert the needle through it and pass it all over through it. Okay, so don't leave it halfway. So please pass it all through it, and that's all. Okay, so you can see there are two, and we can also make the several ones. Okay, so you can do all those things, all these beads. You have to dry these beads. Okay, so please dry it under sun, and so that it becomes really tight, right? And the hole must be there. Without hole, if you dry, then later on you'll not be able to pass through anything. This is a hole big enough because I've taken a bigger needle, right? If you still think that you want to make a bigger hole, then you need a bigger stick through it, right? So in case you want to use bigger cord, so this is how I made it. So you can see it's a bigger hole here, right? So it all depends upon what you want to do. Okay, so like that, if you really don't want the shape to be circular, and you want the shape to be cylindrical, so that also you can do, no problem. You can just chop off whatever size you want, and then leave it like this, and then try to pass through the cylindrical portion. You pass through. Okay, this, and see that it doesn't go through the edge. Almost it is from the edge actually, so I'm not going to use this. So I'll have to take proper look, so that it doesn't pass through the edge. It actually passes through the center, right? So make sure that it actually passes through the center. So now this is how it is passing through the center, and there is a cylindrical pipe that you actually can get. So this is one which is cylindrical pipe, okay, and that is one which is a circular bead. So whether you want a bead to be big enough, okay, see, it has to be kneaded properly. I didn't knead it so much, but never mind, it can be still used. I'm just showing you. See, even if you want to make it bigger cylindrical cylinder, and you want to make a bigger hole, right, you can still pass through, and you can dab it properly, right, or roll it properly so that it's intact almost. Okay, so you have a cylindrical pipe. So like this cylindrical pipe, big or small, you can manage to create. Try to create these things. It's lovely. After that, when it is completely finished, it will look good. Okay, when it dries off, so there are holes, right? So you can do that. So these are about making things into holes, okay, for circular bead purpose, right? You can also do something. You can make see, there are small granules still. You need to remove the granules, and maybe this portion you can flatten it, See, I'm using this, and then I'm going to lift it up like this, right? So in this case, if you want some shape, maybe you can cut off the shape, right? You can cut off this shape. These shapes would be better with a finer one soil, because here still there are granules, so the shapes are not coming as fine. But anyway, I'm just showing you because this is how you need to work on that also, that other one also. Maybe you can take this one and then you can make small holes, okay, and take the back side. Yeah, so you can see that I have made small holes. Don't make it very thin, otherwise if it is too thin, it won't be very strong. So make it a little thicker. Okay, see this is perfect now. Okay, so now there are two holes, you can see, and you can manage to dry this out, right? And like that you can create a lot of trims of different kinds you want, right? If you want, you can make thicker varieties, for example certain thicker varieties like this, which are actually strong and not so brittle. You can consider doing that, right? Say for example you want to do like this, and you can do a crosswise hole, you know, you can make crosswise hole. You can see there is a crosswise hole here. You can do holes on other side. You can pre-plan actually what kind of look you want. If you want the look to be like in this manner, you go ahead, or if you don't want the look to be in this manner, or you want to pass through in a vertical manner, so you can make a hole like that also. Okay, so go ahead like this. Okay, fine. So these are how you can manage to create some of the design pattern. Okay, and try exploring and make it. So I'm creating a lot of shapes anyway. I want to just show you some of the design process. Okay, some design if you want to do it. For example, you want to develop some character, some pattern, some decorative shape in this design. Then what you can do is, like, you can first foremost try to see what size you want. Okay, after you have got the particular size, right, then on that particular size you can create some decorative features. Okay, for example, you have this different kind of tools you can create, and you can create some design pattern upon with the help of these tools. Okay, so this is how you can do it. It's a basic craft idea. It has nothing much fancy things, but I'm just showing you that maybe you can create certain design pattern like this. Okay, and if it dries off, then at least you can get certain texture. It's simple as that. Okay, some decorative form you can do. Okay, so manage to develop this kind of decorative thing. If you like to do it, one side is fine. In case you want to do it on both the sides, it's up to you. And then you can make a hole. Depends, you want to make hollow like this on this area, you go ahead, right, make a hole. So this area you can draw this stick through it, right, and you can put aside for drying. So like that, as many varieties as possible you can do the decoration and leave it for drying under sun, right, and create those shapes. I've just created one shape here, one here, and these beads also you can make certain design pattern in case you want that there is some design pattern on these beads. Okay, all through, right, you can go ahead, you can make this design pattern all over, right, so that when you are through with it, you get actually certain shapes, some texture, some surface decorativeness. So I'm just doing it randomly just to show, and then make sure that you are passing the this once again the stick, right? So develop like that as many ways as possible. And you can do rolls also, in case you want to do coils and rolls. But I'm really waiting for this thing, because this is much softer and easier to make rolls and turns and twists, because this is much sticky and this is still having a lot of grains inside. So when I'm going to make it, right, there are possibilities that there are cracks appearing. Okay, but this will not appear cracks because this is more smooth. Okay, or if there is a problem like that, you can add up Fevicol. If you want to add up Fevicol, then there are possibilities that there are this Fevicol can give. See, there are cracks appearing like this. Okay, so the cracks will not appear on this particular soil. These cracks are appearing only because there are grains. Okay, so if you are making bigger stuff, it's fine. Okay, but if you are making very tender stuff, very fine stuff, then you may require to have a very finer clay like this. So like plasticine that we get actually, okay, those polymer clay that we get, it doesn't have any grain as such. You can see here there are shines. You can see there are shines. These are actually the grains which are so fine, which is not possible to remove it because I did not do a water filter. Okay, so anyway guys, for bigger stuff, bigger things, it's okay, you can develop bigger thing. It's up to you. You can manage to do it, right? So how would you like to use them? Okay, in what manner or what design pattern do you want this beads to have? It's totally up to you. Like, you can think about different ways to create beads or decorative trims. I'm talking about that, decorative trims. Okay, you can have different tools. Okay, and with the help of different tools you can create decorative trims, and they may act as some kind of trims for decorative purpose, not only for garments but also for terracotta accessories. Okay, terracotta jewelries, right? People use terracotta jewelries, but though this will be heavy. Okay, they are going to be very heavy, so that one bead maybe you can have as a locket or something. You can do, you can take a cylindrical thing. I haven't got a cylindrical thing here, right? But you can manage to get a cylindrical thing, and then you can apply it to make a cylindrical hollow bead like this, right? So you can have a hollow bead like this, and then you can make a decoration, or you can paint it even. It's not required, the self texture is not required as such, right? But you can do painting. So with the help of painting also you can develop lot of design. So if you want, you can paint, or if you want, you can do self decorative texture. So there are a variety of things that you can manage to develop. So it's up to you what you want to do with it, right? So I'm just showing you certain concept so that you don't fall short of ideas. Just keep practicing, okay, and go ahead. That's all I can tell you. Just go ahead and try to make something out of it, right? Okay, so please make a lot of things like this. I'm not going to do all those things because next time I'll be coming back with this. Okay, so this is still there, and then maybe I'll try to burn it, okay, and show you the burning process and how it can be hardened, right? So those things will be the furnace process. Maybe I'll show you after some time, after I complete doing this one. Let's see.